Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, and respected colleagues. I am Dr. Avanija, Deputy Dean Academic Programs and Training and Professor, School of Computing, Mohan Babu University. On behalf of Mohan Babu University and the organizing committee, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the DST ANRF sponsored 2026 IEEE Contemporary Computing Innovations Conference, CCIC 2026. Technically co-sponsored by IEEE Region 10 and supported by IEEE TEMS. This prestigious conference is an ideal platform for researchers, academicians, and professionals to exchange ideas and foster collaborations. We are honored to have distinguished speakers and guests with us, whose insights will undoubtedly inspire and propel us towards new frontiers in these domains. With this note, as we begin our program, it's my honor to welcome our esteemed guests to the dais. Each of these individuals play a pivotal role in shaping our academic and research landscape. Let's welcome them with respect and appreciation. Let's extend a warm welcome to our Honorable Vice Chancellor of Mohan Babu University, Professor Nagaraj Ramrao Garu, to grace the dais. Please, sir. Thank you, sir. Please join me in welcoming Dr. K. Sharvi Garu, Registrar of Mohan Babu University, onto the dais. Please, sir. Thank you, sir. I request our distinguished guest of honor and keynote speaker, Dr. Preeti Bajaj, Chair-elect, IEEE India Council, to grace the dais. Please, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. I request our guest of honor, Professor Praratna Gaur, Chair, IEEE India Council, onto the dais. Please, ma'am. Now, I request our guest of honor, Dr. Souvenir, President, IEEE TEMS, onto the dais. Please. Audience, please maintain silence. Finally, I invite our guest of honor, Mr. Madhu Vadlamani, Air Practice Leader, Enterprise Minds, Hyderabad, onto the dais. One more guest is there, soon he will join. Thank you all. Dignitaries, be seated. So to formally commence this prestigious event, I now invite Dr. Reddy Madhavi, the convener of CCIC 2026, to deliver a welcome note, please.
Respected Chancellor, Dr. Mohan Babu Garu, our beloved Pro-Chancellor, Mr. Manju Vishnu Garu, and Executive Director, Mr. Vinay Maheshwari Ji, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Nagaraj Ramrao Garu, Registrar, Dr. K. Sharvi Garu, and today's guests and keynote speakers attending online and offline, Dr. Stephen Mazar, President, IEEE Consumer Technology Society, online. all once again Dr. Sumit, Ram Babu, Harsha, Vishal Jeshwal, Srikant, Rohit, Martin and Rajkumar, all from industry international speakers hosting 2 days parallel industry tracks. I welcome them who are available online, and 2 days workshop, the guests also, and all the deans, deputy deans, head of the departments, faculty members, delegates, supporting staff and students. A very good morning to one and all. On behalf of CCIC 2026, it's my great pleasure to welcome you all to this DST ANRF's sponsored 2026 IEEE CCIC 2026. We are proud to organize the Contemporary Computing Innovations Conference, providing a prestigious global platform, and it's a matter of great pride for Mohan Babu University to host CCIC 2026, bringing together distinguished experts, researchers and innovators to shape the future of contemporary computing. CCIC 2026 is a 2-day conference designed to showcase cutting-edge developments shaping the future of computing. This integrated program features keynote lectures by internationally renowned experts, hands-on workshops, parallel industry tracks, employability training sessions, student startup showcases, offering young innovators a platform to present their ideas. Further, we are delighted to report that the technical committee received a total of 2,000 plus quality manuscripts across the globe from industry and academia. And after a peer-rigorous review process conducted in accordance with the IEEE standards, 383 manuscripts were selected for inclusion in IEEE Explore and indexing in Scopus, of which only 5% originating from host institution. This reflects that Mohan Babu University has maintained complete fairness and integrity in the selection process with no compromise in quality or transparency. I sincerely express my gratitude to IEEE Region 10 for providing the technical co-sponsorship and IEEE TEMS for their technical support, which have been instrumental in making this CCIC 2026 a reality through our dedicated efforts in the last 1 year. Now, we wish to submit our sincere thanks to Anusandhan National Research Foundation, Department of Science and Technology, Government of India for their kind financial support, which elevated this as a benchmark for our technical followers and colleagues. Also, I thank the today's chief guests and guest of honor for gracing the occasion. I extend my sincere gratitude to the management of Mohan Babu University, IEEE Conference Committee, Organizing Committee, Technical Program Committee, Social Media, Student Volunteers for their continuous support and motivation in the ongoing success of this collaborative platform. With this note, I warmly welcome all the delegates and wish you a rewarding and intellectual stimulating experience at CCIC 2026 for the next 2 days. I sincerely request all the delegates here to make use of this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Madhvi. To commence this event in a truly auspicious manner, I now invite our esteemed dignitaries to light the lamp. May the lighting of this lamp signify the illumination of knowledge and wisdom throughout this conference. Please. Now I welcome our guest, Shri Sharankumar Kumarvasagam, Honorable Consul General, to the dais, please, sir.
Sir, welcome. Please come.
Thank you, esteemed dignitaries. Now, let's invoke the blessings of the divine with a soulful prayer song. I invite Venkata Shrikala, final year CSC, to present the prayer song, please. I request all to rise up for prayer song, please. I now take the honor to invite our Honorable Vice Chancellor of Mohan Babu University, Professor Nagaraj Ramrao Garu, to address the delegates. Please.
Good morning, all of you. Namaskar. At the outset, I place my humble salutations to our Chancellor, Dr. Mohan Babu Garu, Pro-Chancellor Vishnu Manchu Garu, the Chief Guest and the Guests of Honor for this IEEE Contemporary Computing Innovations Conference, CCIC 2026, Dr. Preeti Bajaj, Professor Prerna Gaur, Mr. Saravana Kumar, Mr. Madhu Varlamani, and various other dignitaries who have been participating online as guest speakers and keynote speakers. My fellow colleagues, heads of the departments, deans, faculty, the delegates who've been presenting or who will present their research findings, their papers during the two-day deliberations, and students of this great university. Again, a warm morning to all of you. And it's a honor and pleasure for me today morning to be amongst all of you today, amongst the luminaries who occupied the dais. I think I should congratulate the organizers of this conference, and Dr. Reddy Madhavi and her team, for putting this excellent gamut of speakers. I should tell this is really wonderful to have such large number of stalwarts in their own fields of engineering, science and technology to come into one place. And I was just discussing in the morning, I said after COVID, people always wish to come online and do their jobs online, but it is very unique that we have all these luminaries today physically amongst us, and on behalf of all of us, I thank all of you immensely for making this conference, and definitely this conference would be a great success, and it will give us tremendous impetus towards furthering the research at Mohan Babu University. Most of the time I keep telling this to all of you, my dear students, because I see very less delegates who present papers. There are very few, handful of them here, most of them may be online, or a few may come and join only during their sessions. So what happens is sometimes to fill this auditorium, which is about 500 people, are dragged out of the classes. I know all of you would have been dragged out of your classes to fill the auditorium. That normally happens, right? But I think you should take this as an opportunity, because you will never find such an opportunity to interact and listen to luminaries who are from your specific area of engineering, science and technology, talking to you about the core research that they have undertaken in their specific their specializations and their domains. There is some unrest. You will always be, some disturbance, somebody making some noise with the chair and all these things, but still I tell you, you should thank your department, which has given you this great opportunity to be part of this conference, because IEEE conferences are not very easy ones, not the ones which happen regularly. There are a lot of national conferences do happen, but IEEE conferences or IEEE sponsorship, I thank the IEEE R10 division for giving us the technical sponsorship, for IEEE TEMS for giving the sponsorship, and recognizing the contributions of Mohan Babu University for the IEEE movement in particular. And I think we are a very unique university wherein we have about 10 branches, 10 student chapters for various 10 societies. We have about 10 societies. You name the department. We have societies in mechanical and civil engineering also, which is very, very unique to Mohan Babu University, which is under, we are part of the IEEE for the core engineering branches, electrical, electronics, computer science being part of IEEE is one side. But when we made mechanical and civil engineering, it's indeed a unique thing that we wanted to start student chapters, societies under these societies which were specific to these departments. We have been organizing conferences regularly. I think last year we organized about 27 conferences. This year also we have a plan to organize about 20 plus odd conferences. We have published about 3,700 papers in the last 3 years of operations of Mohan Babu University, that is 22, 23, 24 and 25, 4 years of operation. As a matter of fact, I don't know how many of you do understand, our H index, which used to be about 22, is about 57 today. So that is the growth that we have seen in this short span from 22 July, August to now 26 February. All this has happened basically because of contributions from people like Dr. Madhavi, Dr. Avinija, Sunita, all these people, Dr. Padmaja, the various departments, Dr. Sujata. I should take all the names, I should take all these names because all of you have been organizing these conferences and making the research movement at MBU a very rich and very well-nurtured research movement. And when I say we have about 3,700 Scopus index papers, most of them in Q1, Q2 sort of journals, H index moving from 20, this has all not happened in just like one stroke, right? People would have put a lot of hard work, effort in making these things happen to us. And what is that you get as students is for all of us to look into. Research is a major component for any faculty. All the statutory bodies also prescribe that the faculty who is into teaching must contribute some time during his day or her day to pursue research, because once they start doing their own research, they will know what is the latest that is happening in the specific area of science, engineering, and then they will also be well informed when they come back to you, to your classes tomorrow, after having that back of their mind. The lectures become that much more interesting and that much more absorbing to all of you. And how many of you take it again depends. It all depends, right? How much water a plant absorbs from the soil. It depends on the strength of its roots. So whether I have those strong roots, whether I do have that strong acumen to absorb whatever is being given to me, all those rich nutrients which is being given to me, is for me to understand and for me to take a call. And we all know that life is not very easy. India is a large country with huge population, and we talk about the demographic dividend of this country. We are the youngest nation. Prime Minister was talking about it yesterday. We are and he says next 30 years, India is going to contribute to the manpower of the world. Not only India, it is going to contribute to the manpower of the world because most of the other countries are aging. And all of you sitting in this room may not be working only in this country, maybe working abroad also. And you know, flying this country's flag very, very high. All that can happen if you have that basic skill set. Skill set is the mantra of the modern employment. You know, the companies now don't want you to be just a C programmer or a Python programmer. They want you to be beyond that. They want you to have skill sets, 4 to 5 additional skill sets, so that you are capable of doing everything. Because most of the basic jobs, all of us are keeping talking about it. Most of the basic jobs are taken away by the AI now. Recently, there is one more tool which is launched, some Anthropic or whatever I just read somewhere, which is wiped off the ERP systems. The basic data management systems have been completely taken over by, and you don't need engineers there to manage data management, to manage data and data processing. With such newer things happening, and India being mother of startups now, you have so many, thousands of startups coming up in India in the last 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. How do you grab these opportunities? Unless and until you have the skill sets, you cannot do it at all. And that is where conferences, workshops, seminars of this nature help you a lot. Because in this 2-day deliberation, I understand there are about 100 plus papers which is going to be presented orally. You can select the path, the stream. Obviously, they would have divided into various streams. You can select your specific path and stream and attend those conferences, attend those presentations, which gives you some idea, some innovation in your own minds. And all of you should contribute to the research journey and to the innovation journey, because India needs that in research and innovation, and we have seen that happening very, very recently in Operation Sindoor. The indigenization of the war machine, the defense, our air defense mechanism, Akash, which was developed indigenously by the DRDO in this country. Salute to all those scientists who contributed immensely to that. We were safe. I think the Army General, the Army Chief, said in the latest interview that they would have shot down more than 3,500 drones coming out of Pakistan, which was given by Turkey to them. This has not happened just like that, because we indulged into a warfare and we showed to the entire world how AI can be harnessed. Because most of the intelligence mechanisms of this Akash, which is the air defense system of India, was developed on using intense AI platforms. Obviously, the sensing, detection, navigation, and hitting, all this needed the AI tool. And we developed all this indigenously. And all this has happened because of engineers and scientists like you, the young guys who are sitting in ISRO, or sitting in DRDO, maybe sitting in various CSIR labs. So get motivated. Whichever company you are in, now private sector is going to play a major role in the country's development. Because earlier, we never used to invite private sector into space. We never used to invite private sector into defense manufacturing. We never used to invite private sector into what we consider very close to our heart, very secretive. We never used to involve private partnerships. So what used to happen, all of you would have been exposed to only IT or banking or e-commerce sort of jobs. But now if you want to be in core engineering, if you want to be in core design, if you want to become a scientist with your job, that option is now available, because basically now India has opened up tremendously, and all those FTAs that you have been seeing announcing with US, with Europe, with New Zealand, Australia, Canada, you name the country, they are partnering with India. That is because of all of you. Because they know it is not because of what resourcing it is, because of the human resource that this country has. The brains, the intellectual resource that this country has, that is what has made us great today. That is why the world is looking towards us. And this is a great opportunity, tremendous opportunity to all of you, my dear students. Make use of each and every, those minute things that is given, open to you or opened up to you, so that you build your careers. I keep talking, whenever I see large gatherings of students, I keep talking about shelf life of engineers. This is also very important. So guys may be in third year or fourth year here. Earlier my time, or when most of the professors here, the shelf life used to be 20-25 years. I am a BTech, I am employed for 30 years without any training. I just go sit, do some job and come back. Even if I am in an industry, and unless and until you are into some major labs like ISRO or DRDO labs, you don't need to brush up much. But now the system has changed, because the AI has just caused a major disruption. Every day the technology is changing. And unless and until you have this habit of looking beyond what you study in the class, and that is where these platforms are going to help you. And maybe, kindle that mindset amongst you to go beyond what you are doing in your regular classes. So I will not go I can talk like this for hours together, because I get motivated at looking at you. So it's wonderful to be amongst all of you. I again wholeheartedly thank the esteemed guests who have arrived from various parts of the country, taking time out of their busy schedules. People who are joining online, again they are also here. I thank them also immensely on behalf of all the stakeholders of Mohan Babu University. And last but not the least, I again congratulate and thank the Department of Data Science, the School of Computing, for putting this wonderful conference for Mohan Babu University and all of us. Wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your thought-provoking speech. It's my privilege to introduce our distinguished guest of honor, Dr. Preeti Bajaj, an eminent academic leader and distinguished IEEE volunteer. She currently serves as the chair-elect of IEEE India Council 2025 and is a member of the Board of Governors of IEEE Education Society, USA for the year 2024 to 2026. Her global leadership is further reflected through her key roles on the IEEE Awards Board as chair of IEEE MGA Awards and Recognition Committee, and through her earlier contributions as vice chair for membership activities and education in IEEE Region and Asia Pacific. She has also served on the Board of Governors of IEEE Education. With this note, I invite Dr. Preeti to address the delegates, please.
Thank you. As we know, there will be only 2 speakers for this, so I just wanted to cut short. Thank you, madam. I just thought of to introduce 2 important guests from IEEE who are on the stage. So, Honorable Chancellor in his absence, Mohan Babu. Honorable Vice Chancellor on the stage, Professor Nagaraj. Chief guest for today online, dear friend, Dr. Stephen. The Registrar, Dr. Sudhindra Kaushik, President of IEEE TEMS. So, dear students, IEEE have 39 societies, and out of that, very few have laid from India as a president of those societies, one of those societies. So, if I count, probably 4 or 5 must have been from India or less than that as a president of IEEE society. So, we have amongst us Dr. Sudhindra, who is the president of IEEE TEMS. So, I just thought of, that is my speech, right, to introduce IEEE. The another eminent guest for today, guest of honor, Professor Prerna Gaur. She is chair of IEEE India Council for 25-26 and the only first lady in last 50 years fellows of IEEE India Council to be there, and awardees of many international and national awards. That's our dear friend Professor Prerna, and many ones in her account, and a lady, a seasonal IEEE volunteer who has mentored thousands of volunteers in her university and all over the country. So with these guests, and then we also have Professor Chirag, who is chair for IEEE Gujarat section. So we have from Gujarat, we have from Karnataka, we have from Delhi, I am from Maharashtra, and that's IEEE, which has, within India have existence within 14 sections, not state-wise. Then we have speakers, we have Meeta Madam, we have Madhu, to whom I met from Hyderabad, Saitara, and maybe online, Professor Amit, I recognize his efforts for this conference. And Vamsi, I could see online, a long-time volunteer, right from student to young professional. And finally, Professor Madhuri, thank you for giving us opportunity to be here. All the best for this conference and keep doing this volunteerism. So not much on conference which I'll be talking about in my session. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable address. Now it's my honor to introduce the distinguished guest of honor, Professor Prerna Gaur, Campus Director of Netaji Subhas University of Technology, New Delhi. She's the first, as ma'am mentioned, she's the first women chair of IEEE India Council. Her association with IEEE includes serving as chair of IEEE Delhi section, treasurer of IEEE India Council, and currently vice chair for education activities in IEEE Region 10 Asia Pacific. And her expertise extends beyond academia into consultancy, which I want to mention specifically, where she has served as electrical proof consultant for major infrastructure projects including rupees 300 crore Western Railways initiative, as well as projects with PWD and leading healthcare institutions. And she is also recipient of numerous prestigious awards. With this note, I welcome Professor Prerna Gaur to address the audience, please.
Thank you for the introduction. Honorable Vice Chancellor of Mohan Babu University, Professor Nagarajan. Chief Guest, Dr. Staten, online. Distinguished Guest of Honor, Mr. Savana. Esteemed Guest, Mr. Madhu. Registrar, Mohan Babu University, Dr. K. Saradhan. My colleagues from IEEE India Council, Chair-elect Professor P.T. Bajaj. President TEMS, Dr. Sunil Kaushik, Chair Gujarat Section, Dr. Chirag, Chair SPS Gujarat Section, Dr. Meeta, SEC 2025 Hyderabad Section, Sai Kumar Tara, distinguished delegates, researchers, industry leaders, faculty members, dear students, ladies and gentlemen, attending from in this hall and from the online. Also, I forgot to mention Madhu, who is sitting on the dais. Good morning to everyone. It is a great honor and privilege for me, on behalf of IEEE India Council, to be the part of inauguration of the DSC ANRF sponsored 2025 IEEE Contemporary Computing Innovations Conference, CCIC 2026. Technically co-sponsored by IEEE Region 10 and supported by IEEE 10. I warmly congratulate Mohan Babu University and organizers and the entire team for conceptualizing and hosting this timely and impactful conference here at Mohan Babu University, Hyderabad. Friends, we are living in a defining decade of computing. Contemporary computing today goes far beyond faster processors or smarter algorithms. It represents a convergence of technologies, artificial intelligence, machine learning, edge and cloud computing, cyber, physical systems, quantum computing, blockchain, digital twins, and human-centric computing. Working together to solve real-world problems at scale. Across the globe, we are witnessing now these innovations are transforming healthcare, although AI-assisted diagnostics and personalized machines. Enabling smart and sustainable cities is strengthening cybersecurity and digital trust, revolutionizing manufacturing, logistics and consumer technologies, and redefining how humans interact with machines. India's leadership in computing innovations, India today stands at a very unique and powerful intersection. We are not just consumers of technology, as Honorable Vice Chancellor just has spoken in his talk. We are creators, innovators, and global contributors. From world-class digital public infrastructure like Aadhaar, UPI, and DigiLocker, to cutting-edge work in AI for social good, semiconductor design, 6G research, and quantum technologies, India researchers and startups are making their presence felt globally. The support of DSC-ARF reflects India's strong commitment to research-driven innovation, collaboration between academia and industry, and the creation of indigenous, scalable solutions aligned with national priorities. IEEE, through its global network, plays a crucial role in ensuring that such innovations are ethical, inclusive, sustainable, and globally relevant. It is especially heartening to have with us Dr. Stefan, whose leadership in the IEEE Consumer Technology Society exemplifies how research standards and real-world impact come together. His presence reinforces the truly global nature of IEEE, where knowledge flows across borders to address shared challenges. I also extend a warm welcome to Mr. Shravana Kumar, Consul General of Malaysia in Chennai. His presence highlights the importance of the international cooperation, particularly between India and ASEAN nations, in advancing technology, education, and innovation ecosystems. The presence of leaders like Mr. Madhu, representing industry-driven AI practices, underlines an important message for all researchers and researchers. Innovation achieves real values only when research meets practice and societal needs. Conferences like CCIC 2026 are not merely platform for paper presentation, they are innovation ecosystems. So all of the students in this hall will learn in these 2 days the current scenario in technology. Today, students are entering a world where computing will shape every discipline, from agriculture to aerospace, from governance to green energy. I once again congratulate Mohan Babu University, the organizing committee, especially Dr. Madhvi Reddy and her team, and all partners for bringing together this distinguished gathering at CCIC 2026. I am confident that the deliberations over the next 2 days, will generate meaningful, insightful, enduring collaborations and innovative pathways for the future of computing. I wish the conference every success and look forward to its outcomes, contributing to both national development and global technologies advancement. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable insights. It's my honor to introduce the esteemed guest of honor, Dr. Souvenir founder and chief innovator at Innovations by Design, and currently serves as president of IEEE Technology and Engineering Management Society, TEMS. He is a senior member of IEEE, and his outstanding contributions have earned him prestigious recognitions including IEEE MGA Innovation Award 2025 and the Volvo Inventor Award. He is also an international keynote speaker and TEDx presenter. So with this note, now I welcome Dr. Sudhindra Kausik to address the audience, please.
Good morning. Thank you so much. I was telling Honorable Vice Chancellor that it's so nice what he spoke, because I was only visualizing if I was sitting in the audience, how much sense it made to me now, which may not make to you right now. Okay? So, and there is a reason for that. Imagine if you were going to give a talk to, say, middle school students. Somebody invites you to talk to the middle school students where you study. What are you going to tell them? And they will not take you seriously, right? He's telling something. You have gone through what they have gone through, but they have not gone through what you would be as a speaker. So, but I want to add one thing. He mentioned about shelf life, so which is also a topic of my interest. So shelf life, I'll explain another way, which I use, is half-life of education. The half-life of education was 30 years, about 30 years ago. So you get a degree, you join an HMT or an ITI or something, you retire from there. Okay, so that's how you could use it. But now, any guess what is the half-life of education? Half-life of education is defined as before which period of time half of what you learn is useless. So what is it that period today? It was 30, it is 2 years now. So you should do a 4-year degree. By the time you finish, yeah, she's already laughing. Yes, that's what it is. So what do you do now? You have to do something, which is again what our Vice Chancellor said is about how do you skill yourself. So basically skilling is like Preeti Bajaj said and Prerna got touched upon, the things are changing so fast, you don't even know what skill to learn. Okay, today is Python, tomorrow is Cobra, day after is something else, we don't know. But the number one skill, according to World Economic Forum, is not technology. Technology is number 7, number 8. But the first 5 skills are critical thinking, creativity, innovation, complex problem solving, not just problem solving. And there is first time there is something that has come into the list called active learning. Active learning was never in the World Economic Future Skills list. Active learning means figure out what you don't know and decide what you want to do about what you don't know, whether it's relevant to you or not. So that is one way of learning. The second way of learning is my last point, is this conference itself is a source of learning. So how do you make this a source of learning? Whether you were dragged to this hall, whether you came to this hall is irrelevant now. How do you want to use this time, today and tomorrow? You will not meet this kind of people every day. They have come to you. So one of the first things you can do for your active learning is to understand what you don't know, what you should know. Ask them. Talk to them. Start building your LinkedIn network if you don't have. Okay, start today. Okay, and watch Netflix. Your Vice Chancellor will be angry. What is coming and asking people to watch Netflix? So when I say Netflix, watch movies like BlackBerry. Why technology came, why technology went. Why people came, highly successful, how they disappeared. There is a story there. Why do you have to know the story? That is also learning. What you should do, how you should do, how you should learn. So use these 2 days. Like Preeti said, there are a lot of societies in IEEE. I represent TEMS, which is also about innovation, product management. If somebody wants to become an entrepreneur, how do you manage technology? Madhu is here from technology as a leader, so he will be able to tell you what his life looks like, what challenges he faces. The moment you know that, you have a sense of a understanding of where things are going, and it will be very useful to you to talk to speakers. And like our Vice Chancellor said, look at the papers, then you will know where are the new things coming up, which will help you define your next 10 years as well, and then you have to do the same again. Okay? I wish you all the best and have a good conference. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words. Now we have a momentous occasion, the release of the conference souvenir. I request our dignitaries to kindly release the souvenir, which encapsulates the essence of CCIC 2026. dignitaries. To express our heartfelt gratitude, we will now felicitate our distinguished guests. I now invite our Honorable Vice Chancellor and Registrar to felicitate our guests. I invite our guest of honor and keynote speaker, Dr. Preeti Bajaj, Chair-elect IEEE India Council for felicitation. Please, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. I welcome our guest of honor, Professor Prerna Gaur, Chair, IEEE India Council for felicitation. I welcome our guest of honor, Dr. Sudhindra Kaushik, President, IEEE TEMS for felicitation. Next, I invite our guest of honor, Sri Sharavana Kumar Kumarvasagam, Honorable Consul General at Consulate General of Malaysia in Chennai for felicitation. Please, sir. Now I welcome Professor Chirag Panwala, Chair, IEEE Gujarat Section for felicitation. Please, sir. Now I invite Dr. Mita Panwala, Chair, IEEE Signal Processing Society, Gujarat Chapter for felicitation. Now I welcome Mr. Madhu Vadlamani, AI Practice Leader, Enterprise Minds, Hyderabad for felicitation. Now I invite Dr. Shine Kumar Tara, India Council SAC Subcommittee Member for felicitation. Please, sir. Now I invite esteemed dignitaries from IEEE to felicitate our MBU team. I invite our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Nagaraj Ramrao Garu, for felicitation. Sir, please, sir, please. I now invite our Registrar, Shardi Garu, for felicitation. I invite Dr. Reddy Madhavi, convener of the program, for felicitation. Thank you all. Group photo. I request all, please join for group photos, sir, please. So, be there, we will come.
Hello, sir.
In front.
All of you to stand. I request all to be seated. So we do have
keynote session. So it's a great honor to introduce our esteemed chief guest, Dr. Stephen Moser, who is joining us virtually today. He is an internationally acclaimed electrical engineer, distinguished IEEE leader and visionary contributor to the global engineering community. So for nearly 4 decades, he has provided transformative leadership within IEEE. As president of IEEE Consumer Technology Society, he helped shape its global vision, launched major international conferences and strengthened professional chapters worldwide. His contributions also extend to the IEEE Product Safety Engineering Society, Life Science Technical Community. As an accomplished researcher, consultant and innovator, he holds numerous patents, publications and design awards. His expertise in consumer electronics, multimedia systems and product safety engineering has significantly influenced modern technology. In recognition of his contributions, he received the prestigious IEEE Richard Emerson Award. With this note, I extend a warm welcome to Dr. Stephen Moser, the chief guest for today's event. Now I request Dr. Stephen Moser, President, IEEE Consumer Technology Society, to address the gathering. Audience, please maintain silence. He is joining. Joined already. Yeah.
So first of all, we need to look at, see what is happening that is actually, I don't want to say forced, but I'd say sort of pushing us ahead and causing us to change. And I've got a few points on the slide here which show some of the developments that are making us reconsider how we improve safety. Originally, when products were developed historically, we always were concerned about product safety. So the early predecessors looked at products and sort of said, oh, how do we ensure product is safe? And of course, we took measurements where we could, and built-in protection capabilities were possible. The old traditional ways were fuses, thermal protection, and we sort of decided that we need to have certain creepages, and a lot of the techniques were hardware-based, based on measurement methods and predictive measurement methods. As compliance engineering evolved, we realized that these simplistic methods were not adequate. The other thing too is the question arises, what do I measure? What do I do? So standards development evolved. Standards said you must do A, B, or C to ensure product is safe. For example, specify clearances for certain voltages. It looked at isolation requirements. If I built a transformer, how do I ensure that the secondary doesn't flash over to the primary or primary to the secondary? So a lot of these things were defined and documented, and we started testing independently. The independent test is a major step forward. Whilst we trust manufacturers to a certain extent, manufacturers also have the advantage of having an independent test. That means something goes wrong, they can prove that they've done everything possible, that it was in their knowledge and in the current state of knowledge to ensure a product remains safe. As we were following standard rules based on basic measurements, some of the engineers at Hewlett-Packard looked at it and said, what we're actually doing is not really adequate, not really good enough. We need to do a bit more to ensure the products are safe. And this extra bit, what we need to do is we need to start looking at designs from a hazardous base. So we identify hazards and see what precautions we're taking to avoid hazards. So we look at electric shock, arc flash, thermal runaway, EMI-induced problems. So a lot of issues were studied, analyzed, documented, and the key point is look at hazards. And this is still evolving. We still haven't reached the end of it yet. The latest standards, we don't talk about voltage levels anymore. We realize that the voltage level, whilst it's important, what's more important is the energy content in the circuits. The higher the energy content, the more hazardous the circuit would be. If we look at more complex systems, and there has been a lot of work done, and actually the interesting fact here is the person who came up with the normal accidents theory was not an engineer, was a psychologist. He started looking at the human understanding and reaction to failures and why do accidents happen. So he looked at understanding systemic failures and not just high energy systems, overall every system. What's happening? What are humans doing to prevent accidents? And this is been a very controversial, partially controversial approach to safety, because the underlying theory here is that if humans are involved, we will have accidents, and accidents are not avoidable. A group at Berkeley looked at the normal accident theory, and they analyzed it, and they sort of started to disagree. They said, no, we have high reliability organizations which don't have many accidents. Look at nuclear power plants. Also, you're going to point out that there have been a few incidents. By and large, if you look at how many nuclear power plants there are, the number of incidents are relatively small. So they came up with the theory of high reliability organization, and they sort of tend to disagree with that. We're looking at different monitors, different ways of identifying potential hazards and coming up with systems and solutions which counter them and, as far as possible, eliminate potential failures. As these theories progressed and we're moving away from pure testing and going into higher levels of analysis of systems, a lady called Nancy Levinson at MIT, she's actually a software engineer, and she has been involved in analyzing some of the Apollo disasters. She sort of said the current methods of analyzing faults are not really adequate. There's got to be better ways. When I spoke to her, she said, what the traditional way of safety analysis, 50 years old, with very little improvements. So she analyzed it all and came up with a systematic approach, which is known as STAMP, Systems Theoretical Viewpoint, of looking at systems and products to ensure that we can identify potential hazards and faults before they will eventually occur. And there's a few points listed here in the slide, like delayed shutdown commands. Well, you can probably know a lot of the potential issues that you find these days. This technology, the STAMP technology, is being standardized currently, and the U.S. Defense Department will take over this process for their complex systems to ensure that they are safe. NASA is using some of these methods as well. The issue with this is, and I've had discussions with her, is that I have personally, is the lack of quantitative analysis. So we need to look further and see how we can make other improvements. So now we go to the quantitative methods, where we need to do rigorous data-driven risk modeling. And NASA has developed some of these methods as well. They actually, I shouldn't say developed, use methods of combining these techniques. These techniques were developed outside the NASA. What we need to do is, AI will probably help us be more analytical in our approach to potential failures and hazards. Fault tree analysis, event tree analysis have been around for a long time. Monte Carlo analysis adds a lot of information, and so on. There's a lot of ANOVA, there's a lot of techniques that are out there, statistical models that can be used, and we will expand and work on developing and improving these quantitative methods. The big advantage of these quantitative-driven methods is it gives us something to focus on. We don't say, oh, well, if this happened, or using simplistic risk matrices, using these statistical methods gives us data, hard data, to make decisions on. Now, AI is coming along, and this is opening up a new frontier in safety engineering. I put down power electronics in these slides because I understand the conference is about power electronics. But this is not just relevant to power electronics, it's relevant to anything that we do, electrical engineering, and even mechanical engineering and civil engineering. We want to stop bridges collapsing, we want to stop buildings caving in, and we want to stop equipment catching fire. I saw a report from the Tokyo Fire Department, and of household fires in Tokyo, 70% of the fires are due to consumer products catching fire because we haven't fully understood the risk assessment. So with AI, we want to be able to have a more systematic, it's an automated system, AI, so therefore the human factor is largely removed if we get the AI right. So these are new opportunities that come along. So looking ahead, we are looking at autonomous systems assurance. For example, power converters that perform self-diagnosis and adjust operating limits. So we can constantly monitoring the equipment as it goes on. If we detect any abnormality, we can shut things down, or we can put it in operating parameters where operation is much safer. You can see other things I put down, like predictive compliance, real-time verification of grid code adherence, not just grid code, but even the design rules that you put into your product. Sometimes if you're designing a product and you're not using AI or quantitative techniques, this is all evolutionary. This is the snapshot of where we are now. This is all going to evolve further. There's a lot of opportunities here to be first. The concept of some predictive and self-validating systems is probably not that new. What is new is that we have computational methods that can assist us and can perform it faster and with more integrity than humans could be able to do it. So in conclusion, what is happening is we are going from old-fashioned basic measurement techniques with simplistic protection capability to more predictive methodologies like hazard-based analysis, risk matrices, and then we see that people are looking at methodologies to work with more complex systems. STAMP is the first step. It bridges between simplistic and more complex. Maybe that's the way future altogether, but I feel that we need to also include quantitative methods. As engineers and STEM people, we understand quantitative methods better, and that gives us a better way of making decisions to make products safe and ensure a safer future for us all. And not just electrical engineering, these techniques apply, as I said, across all technologies, so you can be assured you driving on a bridge it's not going to collapse. And so I look forward to getting more involved with these techniques, and I hope you do too, to make our lives safer. Thank you. That brings my presentation to conclusion. Thank you. Are there any questions?
Any questions from students?
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable address. Thank you, Stephen, sir, for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you too.
Taking time, joining and gracing the occasion. Thank you so much. So followed by the keynote session of Dr. Stephen, we do have one more keynote session. Ma'am will join just 10 to 15 minutes. She will join. It's a very short keynote session. Preeti ma'am will join. I request the audience to be available for the session. So just it's a 15 to 20 minute session. Dr. Preeti ma'am will be handling the session on medical device development and validation. I thank all of you for being patient throughout the event. Thank you so much. Just one more session is there. I request your presence for the session. Offline presenters, anybody here? Yes, okay. So after this keynote session, offline presentation will continue in Student Life Center. We have volunteers, or volunteers will guide you through that. You can. All offline presentation, we are conducting this conference in blended mode. Both online and offline presentations are there. Online we have shared the session schedule. For offline presenters, it will be the schedule in the venue is Student Life Center. Our NSS volunteers are available here. NSS volunteers, please, after this keynote session, guide the offline participants to Student Life Center. Okay. Thank you. Now I request Dr. Preeti Bajaj to deliver keynote session on medical device development and validation. Please, ma'am.
Thank you, madam. I thought of stages wherein I cannot connect with the students. So let me have here look at, I will showcase maximum 10-15 slides. But this is very important area. Can we have some mechanical students as well here? So those who believe, this is IEEE conference, right? So IEEE stands for Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, right? So how many of you are student members of IEEE? Any member is there? Okay. So still, I have, till the time they are doing just setup, I have some goodies. So just wanted to ask some questions. IEEE is confined to which branches? Anyone? One, because you have to have, I have some IEEE goodies. Right? Lot of goodies are there. So IEEE confined. Anyone has to stand up or may be here just fast quickly before they set up this. Anyone? You have to grab the opportunity. You are Gen Z, right? Yes? You have something for computer science?
Yes, ma'am. I am a MTech first year student. So, being a MTech first year student, I am a newborn baby in the era of research. So, in this, I seen IEEE is one of the that elite conference publications, so that I have submitted it. So, from my perspective, IEEE gives the platform for every genre and every domain.
Okay, good. So, something from the IEEE for you. I believe everybody must know, although the name indicates electrical and electronics engineers, it's no longer for electrical and electronics engineers. You name the technology, whether it is data science, cloud, blockchain, AI, IoT, or maybe a power, transportation, robotics, drones, you talk the technology, we have white paper for that, right? So how this will go? These technologies finally, about 142 years back, IEEE have started. So I'll just quickly, run through what is IEEE, and thereafter I'll come to my talk, which is medical device development. We should always think about students, think globally. We always talk about, right? So it is known as global. You acquire the knowledge, worldwide we travel, but finally you act locally. Now what is missing locally? Probably in India, within India itself. To develop one medical device, it takes 15 years minimum. Right? India is far behind the race, wherein we need to acquire more and more electronic devices, especially medical devices, how engineers and students can work. So IIT Bombay has one program, they call it BETIC, Biomedical Engineering Technology Business Incubator. They organize a hackathon. And I'm conducting that hackathon for last 8 years. I have set up many medical incubators within the campuses. Undergraduate students contribute for the development of medical problems, which doctors do share with us. It is not that medical device has been, complied and validated, but at least there is an ecosystem. There is a system wherein we can start our journey as an entrepreneur. You can get good grants based on that. So here is my talk that's about medical device development, ecosystem in India, and for idea to market. How long is this journey? As I said, it takes minimum 15 years. So, it's set up. It is here, Bluetooth. So then how it will operate? No, so then I will operate on my own because I know. No longer electronics engineer working in AI and data science domain. Initially working for Intelligent Transportation Society. I always talk about working for transportation, NHAI, then working for medical device development, which is really my branch, I really don't know. So that is how engineers' job. Probably you all will grow in a system wherein branch should not matter, right? Whether you are a computer science engineer or electronics or electrical engineer, that doesn't matter. What it matters is how much technologist you are, right? Doesn't matter. I'll operate straight away if it is not, right? Okay. So, it's there, right? But my slide is not changing at all. Okay. So, little bit about me. I have been Vice Chancellor for 3 different universities. You must have known global universities like Galgotia's lovely professional. So I was Vice Chancellor, Director for many universities, and IEEE for last 26 years. I'm an IEEE volunteer, some awards, and that is how I'm here. I'm born and brought up in a very small town, probably smaller than Tirupati. It's Wardha in Maharashtra, and from there to Delhi. So, my flow of presentation, as I said, little bit about IEEE. So, the world's largest technical society professional organization, that's IEEE, which you should all know. Our mission is, the core purpose for IEEE is to foster technological innovation and excellence for benefit for humanity. And this is our vision. How IEEEs today we have 500,000 worldwide. There are 39 societies, 6 million documents. You name the technology, we have white paper in that. And this is how world is divided in 10 regions. And very soon we'll have, India would be part of the 11th region. So these are 10 regions. We are part of, at present, region 10, which is Asia Pacific. That is our existence. I just thought of, you should know a bit about IEEE. I am also on board of governors of IEEE Education Society. So then IEEE works through branches, chapters, which you all are member of. These are 14 sections for India. Doesn't confine to Gujarat, is Gujarat state. But Maharashtra, except Pune, then we have Delhi covering 6 states and so on. So we have these 14 sections. We are in AP, right? So we are confined to Hyderabad section. So you all are part of Hyderabad section of IEEE. Coming to how we impact, lot of documents, lot of society, as somebody said, publications, we are into publication. We talked about AI, we talked about data science, we talked about high impact journals, open access journals. We talked about many competitions globally which affects you all. We are into cloud, life, AI, data science, as I said, educational programs, lot of educational programs. You talked about any, you want to update your career, so career advancement schemes are there. For teachers there is something, researchers, everyone, entrepreneur, educators. That's how IEEE works, so I won't take much time. Can you remove this setup professional? This is, because with that, then is IEEE Education Society. This is our society. Lot of inputs are there. Now journey for why medical devices. So every day, one common factor wherever you are worldwide. Every day with our lifestyle we have new diseases. Diagnostic systems in India are much, much costlier. My students have developed one device. Those were mechanical students. I'll show you that video. So it was bone lengthening device. Many a times your leg length is unequal. What will happen if leg length is unequal? You can't walk properly, right? One leg is shorter than other one. So and if you get operated in US, because what needs to be done? The leg which is shorter one, you have to cut your bone, create a distance between that bone, and the bone will naturally grow and will bind, right? But for this, the surgery is again very costly, affair 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs, 20 lakhs. Now what can be done? So how many of you are aware about 3D printer? Many of you? Yes. So my students have developed with 3D printer, the bone lengthening device. They patented, now they have a startup for the same. But lot of, it took 10, 12 years for clinical trials, and then finally they are getting into that. It was a long journey. So if you have Fab Lab, you can contribute to medical device development. If you work in IoT domain, you can contribute. If you are working in AI domain, it is. If you work in human brain interface systems, you can be a good person to go with medical device, and how small devices can help you, I'll show you. So improve the diagnosis, monitoring, therapy. So with aging, lot of support systems are required, assistive technologies, all that can be possible with, So high cost right now, maximum products are high cost. How we can have, even when there is a newborn baby, they have to be, if they are, early born babies, they need to be in the incubators, right? So the new innovation could be solar-based incubator. There is no incubator right now which is solar-based, which can work in rural part of India. Many dispensaries where there are no the lace or scarcity of the electricity. How we can contribute, work locally, design innovative devices which are required. So, government regulations are there which doesn't allow us to launch new devices until unless there is a permission from CD. So now, how the medical development devices, the procedure? You are coming out with a concept. Doctors will give you problems. We require this. This device is not in the market. Can you do that? So one is the concept. Thereafter, the feasibility and prototyping. This all you can do within. My first year students, second year students, third year students, they all do that. Then design and development. First version is launched. Thereafter, you improve based on validation. You go for trial again and again, again and again. Ethical clearance, validation, verification, and finally technology transfer. It's these 5 points takes 15 years. Now, these are some of the standards like USA, FDA controls all devices approval. Who controls in India? That's CDSCO, which is Central Drugs and Standard Control Organization, very strict organization, I would say. In a way it is good, but in a way it's very, very difficult for us to launch new devices. Look at the global market. What is the size? How many billions market it is? 1,000 USD billion. That's the market size. I'm talking about 2030, just 4 years then. 1,000 billion, can you imagine? Then where does India stands? So Indian market for devices, in 2030, just still we are projecting. Right now we are not at 25 billions as well. We are targeting, but that market will grow in India with a lot of medical tourism and all. We are considering 50 billion market. Lot of startups, more than 1,000 startups are in India. All young boys, they are coming up with new concepts. So probably there would be, we are expecting some norms to change with AI being there, many apps are there. Right now, what is the latest ad for medical devices in iPhone? It can discover, the sugar level. It can discover the, maybe a heart attack, right? Have you heard of those apps? All that related with, again, the medical device, the sensor you have to develop, right? So that's the market size, a lot of funding is there. Top 10 countries who are launching medical devices. What are the top 10 countries? So United States first, China, Japan, Germany. We comes under 10, I have written as 10, probably we are not in even top 10. Look at these countries who launch huge R&D support in their budget and otherwise also. Ecosystem is there. My job is I cannot take you to medical device development. I can conduct some hackathons, but I just wanted to clear this. This is a niche area. I want young innovators, entrepreneurs, technologists to think about. Simple problem, what can be a solution? One problem I'll give you. How many of you, just by knowledge, it doesn't require medical domain. Have you seen physiotherapist? So what is the job of physiotherapist? Anyone would stand, again I will give one goodie. Something from IoT, something from 3D printer. Who will tell me what is the job of physiotherapist? Right? Anyone? And then, right? Yes, please? Okay, what he does? Okay, now, what about his own posture? Right? When he does, he helps you to do certain exercises. Then he has to bend also. So, do you think that there is a need for posture correction device? How that can be, please, this is for you, and how this can be designed? How posture correction device, what it will require? Again, one goodie for you. Right? So how the posture correction device can be designed? In US or most of the European countries, the moment you join your job, first day they will take complete, your complete measurements. They will give you a chair. which is suitable so that your posture is correct while working. We don't, in India, we don't bother. We sit on bed, we sit on chair, we sit on, wherever we get in, and we don't bother about our posture. Very, very important to take care of yourself as well. So my students have designed a small device, which is posture correction device. Now that's under clinical trial again. IIT Bombay have given them internships, some stipend, lot of help they do for this, right? So device is not something complicated. Just you have to apply your concept. You have to understand the body physiology, of course, and then you can do. So these are the 10 countries. The countries based on investment for medical devices. Nowhere India stands here. The countries who invest in medical devices, until there is a money, there is an investment, you cannot come with the devices. So these are the 10 countries, top 10 countries, maximum devices. You read out now, any device made in what, right? And then India is importing 80% of the devices. We don't have our devices. You look at every device which you have, it's not made in India, right? So 80% devices are being imported. That's the requirement. Market position. So right now, the Indian market is something 11 to 12 billion, which needs to be, we targeted that 2025 it would be 25 billion, but not. And we targeted that by 2030 it would be a 50 billion business, probably. We should meet that. For that, we need youngsters like you to get involved into. I'm not a doctor, but yes, for 2018 onwards, I started this movement along with Professor B. Ravi, who is the director of NIT Suratkal in Karnataka, and he started when he was in IIT Bombay. So, coming out with top 10 global medical device companies as well. These are the 10 companies, and the numbers from 5 onwards that gets reshuffled, but top 5 are always top 5. Coming to, this is again IEEE Society, EMB Society. Although I am not member of, 10,000 round members are there, but they work in this domain. So how the medical device works in? The interdisciplinary students, one from mechanical, one from electrical, one from electronics, one doctor or maybe a allied pharmacy or physiotherapist or MBBS student do join this team. The doctors gives us problem and we arrange that hackathon. It has its own rules. Some devices which my students have done. You must have seen the prosthetic hand. These all were done in 2017-18 when AI was just introduced. First we designed prosthetic hand. Then we have prosthetic hand operated by Alexa that time. Now with AI, meconium extractor. When new babies, newborn babies are there, many instances in rural part of India that baby just, because of meconium is the first tool of the baby, they eat that itself and that causes their death. How it can be? And if nurses try to give the suction, that time because of over pressure, the baby dies, right? So we designed a small load cell which controls the pressure, and the meconium extractor was there. The multi-purpose adaptive wheelchair, which was again done, automatic calling of data logging device, non-invasive blood sugar monitoring system. Since 2018, now we can see on Apple iPhone have that feature. We started in 2018, just if you are good into chemistry, you should know how it works. So basically, just a small basic foundation principle of chemistry we applied, and we tried to come out with invasive, no need for pricking, and to come out with a medical device, right? These are some of, first one is pre-bed waiting alarm. We did that how it can be, you get alert for before bed gets wet, which is a common problem in young student, the child. Bed sore prevention system. Again, bedsore, everybody has old age people in home, right? And most of the time, if they are bedridden, the bedsores are it gets worsened. And how to get in, what kind, and the beds, if you go for water bed and other systems, those are very, very costly affair at home, right? So what can be a solution? Think about that. Then we have malfunctioning of material handling. You have, we see the labor carrying huge weight on their shoulder, head. What about their backbone? Spondylosis, lateral part, lot of diseases they have because of that. Any country can lead in this world if only health is good. Do you believe in this? Probably at your age you won't realize. But that's true that if your health and your mind is at best level, you can lead the world. So best health we are always ignoring. Oh, I have a fever, still I'll go on my job. I'm suffering from something, still I'll go and I'll affect everyone. And infect everyone. So, then this was, so we designed a device for my mechanical engineers, they did divide. So the weight gets distributed on your shoulders and back so that you can carry heavy weight than usual but without affecting your body and backbone especially. This was a device, meconium extractor I was talking about, and 3D model of tibial plates. This was again a common problem. This was done in 2009 by Professor Kevin Warwick. I'm a big follower. Just Google it. If you are youngsters, you are always on Google, uncle, or you are probably ChatGPT can answer you. Professor Kevin Warwick, when I met him in 2009 and 11, what he did, he implanted a chip in his wrist. Okay, what is the critical thing which at Gen Z would talk about? Like, we talked about brain mapping. What is brain mapping? Who will tell me? What is brain mapping? What do you mean by brain mapping? Anyone can answer? What is brain mapping? We see so many movies. Is it actually possible? It's possible. So, the Professor Kevin Warwick, what he did is, he implanted a chip in his wrist. He implanted the same similar chip in his wife's wrist. And he was controlling the thoughts. He was reading the thoughts. This was done in 2009, much before 2009 when I'm talking about. It was with wired connections, of course with the permission of his wife. And the professor is of 95, I guess now. I met him last 2011, and then when I have invited him for a talk in Mauritius, and then I have given him from Galgotia's honorary PhD degree in 22. So that was my last connection, and then now only on Facebook or some, but he's very active still. So Kevin Warwick, so 2009 it was about brain mapping. Now we are talking about all advanced, probably much beyond that. So every fictional movie which you see, it has science behind that, and it is all engineers can do. Only thing is, what Surendra Kaushik was talking about, you have to think, you have to act. Creativity, innovation probably can give you, best. The next example for brain devices, sports. How many of you are playing cricket or might be basketball, football, handball, all, many of you? Now, have you seen most of the cricketers, they talked about some surgery? They undergo some elbow surgery, they go for why do they do that? Even if it is not being hurt. Many times they do these kind of surgery. Why? Who can answer? At least this question is so simple. Is it making some sense, some real-time examples? So why do players go for surgery? So because they know, if my elbow gets operated probably, so I can give a best shot. Am I correct? Sometimes it is for the knee surgery, some knee knocking, some features are there. We were working with doctors in Punjab, they said, and this is a fact, Australia, you talked about China, they don't select the players until unless they do complete scanning and MRI of the players. Look at government spends huge money on players, right? Now, they don't have to spend huge money before this, they are taking all trials by these players. You do MRI first, compare with the database of the best players, Olympic medal winners. Is it a data science problem? It's a data science problem. You prepare a data set of best players. Train your system. Check with the current player, does he match with that best players, or what needs to be done? What operation, what surgery needs to be done so that he can become a best player? And then you create. There used to be a definition, managers are not born, created. Similarly, with this part, players are not born. They can be. So again, it's a medical system. I won't say it's a device, but it's a system. So some examples, there's an example of skull. I visited Malaysia, one lab. Thousands of skulls, human skulls were there. I said, for what? What they did, they had all MRI images of your skulls. If MRI images of skulls are there, what would happen? They have trained their system and they have diagnosed the pattern. So anytime any unknown body is there, they can detect. This is from South Asia. This is from Europe. Again, pattern recognition. Again, AI pattern recognition. This is with latest technology. So it is not medical device development is one part which is with the hardware, but medical diagnosis with AI data science is another part which you all, at least if you are a student of data science and all, you can do that. So next is, I'll come to some actual problems which doctors have. If you can take up those as a project, you can. So this is a BATIC biomedical device development hackathon. Look at the problem statements which I'll just show you one problem statement. Yes. This is the problem statement. Doctors do have. Old age people, they don't count whether they have taken medicine or not. They forget, 2 minutes. So they forget to take the medicine. They don't count whether I have taken today's medicine or not. Lot of issues are there. So doctors have given us, design a smart system or a device that ensures patients have taken medications on time. So my students have designed this. I'll tell you, this is, yes.
This is our project towards.
So I guess there were two designs. I'm just showing you the second design. I need to play. So this device was done since I have scarcity, otherwise I would have played. Another common problem was, which doctors have given us during surgery. Have you read somewhere that some medical apparatus, scissors, gauze pieces were inside the body, which causes infection and there were fatal deaths, right? So what can be done? That is known as surgical sponge problem. What needs to be done for that? So when doctors do operate, they can count that I have 15, operating instruments. One instrument, the job is done. We have created IoT system and there was a drum. One apparatus job is done, doctor has put in there. So before operation 15 equipments, after the operation 15 instruments have been added. Surgical sponge will say equal and there is no instruments inside the body. Gauze pieces were so many, those who have been removed, the gauze piece also will be measured. So a lot of these problems can be undertaken by, all of you. So these are all clinical problems. This was, which I was talking about, design a portable physiotherapist mechanical device or tool to prevent the back pain in person attending the patient. This was given by a physiotherapist to us. And we designed this system. Again, there is a video, but probably video will not play now. Sterilization device. So sterilization, can we have a solar sterilization device? Very useful. During COVID, do you know, ultraviolet device was there, which used to be put your mobile there, put your everything so that infection goes away. Similarly, sterilizing device, because ultraviolet rays kills most of the infections. So lot of devices are there. So probably maybe sometime later I can cover this. But just a small video which is of my institute, not my institute now. I am not working with them, but I established that incubator. So I'll just show you a small video of 1 minute. Can somebody help me with this laptop? Yeah. Log out from this. And there's a video. Thank you so much for your patient listening. It's a beautiful area if you all can contribute. These were the students of third year mechanical. Many problems were solved by first year and second year students. I am sure you all can contribute for this noble cause and will take India's biomedical system device development especially to the next level. Thank you.
ecosystem in India with real-time case studies. It was very interesting. So we know that our students also are working in that area. So multidisciplinary approach, it is not that hardware alone will work, not software alone will work. So we are in that era. So many of our students are also working in that way. So the session was very interesting, ma'am. Thank you so much again for such a wonderful session. And I thank all my dear students. Thank you very much for your patience. Thank you, ma'am, for your patient listening from 10 o'clock you were here. Thank you so much for gracing the occasion. Now you can have your break here. So refreshments are there available for you. Have the refreshment. Thank you. Thank you so much again.